Anuj, you asked a very, difficult question, and I think all of us are struggling with whole range of issues. So thanks, Pankaj, for putting that, framework in which we can look at. Before I come specifically to the question which you raised, I just want to, point out two things, and then I'll come to the specific question you asked. One is, I think, as you rightly mentioned, as it is, we were worried about the employment situation from a long-term perspective because of technology. That what is AI going to do to jobs? And that was a big question all of us were, talking about. And now in the midst of that, suddenly, we have this situation which is saying suddenly we are dealing with a very different situation. So I think that long-term issue continues to be there. And within this, we're dealing with this short-term issue, how we going to juggle with this. Second, I think the challenge which all of us are facing is the duration of uncertainty. I think in the past, demand uncertainty, there have been recessions, 2008, similarly earlier, there have been demand uncertainty, on the demand side, drop. But we are also having a peculiar problem of supply side problem. For example, rarely in the history we have a situation where entire workforce is not able to come to a workplace. We had, sometimes weather-related uncertainty where in a certain pockets, we would have this uncertainty for a some time period. Here we are dealing with uncertainty which we don't even know the duration. And even if we get back, there's a possibility of a cycle coming again till we get a long term. So suddenly we are dealing with a situation which is, a very different kind, and none of us have dealt with similar situation in past. So when we look at some of this, we'll have to keep this in mind. Coming to specifically the issue you raised, the startup, most startup are going to dry up of cash. So, as you said, when we are dealing with a lot of other uncertainty, a lot of people thought startup is, a great opportunity where the traditional companies, the jobs were drying up, but a lot of jobs may come up in a startup. But, if I use the Pankaj, that 2x2, startups, most of them would come in that, where even if intent is there, they're not going to have cash. So it's a situation where I think we'll have to collectively, industry and government will have to play a major role, because there's a limit. So apart from a segment where Pankaj talked about that companies have sufficient resources, then they will be able to write, this, time period. But that's a very small segment. And given the fact that we have a large number of people in unorganized sector, so, I mean, I have more questions than the answers, but I think recognizing that large number of sectors are going to have these challenges. Obviously, all of us will try and see if we can use this time period to build up certain capabilities, skills and capabilities, which is what, as an education institution, we try and work on, and ensuring the right kind of skills where you're preparing for a technology, pervasive future. Those kind of skills we build resilience, keep focus on learning to learn. But, I don't think, there is any, silver line somewhere in a shorter horizon. So let me stop here and come back in future.